create movie magic. As you may know, the word movie is just a nickname for motion picture, and in the early days of filmmaking, it must have truly seemed like magic. In the late 1800s, the Pettibone Brothers Manufacturing Company produced magic lanterns like this one. They were widely used by traveling showmen to project images onto a white backdrop. But for a moment, imagine what that must have been like. You're sitting in a darkened tent. Suddenly, the white backdrop is revealed and a single image appears. But when seen in the right order, in the right light, and at the right speed, those images seem to come to life to create a magical new world. For the last 100 years, and at that time it turned out some of the most memorable film moments in Hollywood history.
Hold on to your butts.
From the very beginning, the basic concept of the filmmaking process has always remained the same. To make you, the audience, believe that everything that you see is real.
Today, filmmakers have more tools than ever before. A high-tech cameras, super fast computers, but they still rely on a category of effects so distinctive that they are known as special.
And the earliest form of special effects are called practical effects, which are effects that are shot on set in front of the camera. And our first example of practical effects is models. Universal's 1932 film The Mummy made use of miniature effects, including scale models, like that one from its opening. And you can tell that's a model because if you look closely, the real pyramids do not say The Mummy. Universal relaunched The Mummy, and believe it or not, that Sphinx that you see there is this Sphinx model that you see here. This is the actual model that was used in making that film. And the attention to detail, incredible. The hieroglyphics, the scaffolding. I think Laura would agree that models are still a great way to fool the camera.
It's true. Another filmmaking technique that also has the ability to fool the camera is a glass mat. In the terrifying film The Birds, the brilliant Alfred Hitchcock used matte paintings to create the area look that he wanted to achieve for the town of Bodega Bay. Take a look at the side screens. Now, in this literal bird's eye view of the town, only two things were real: the parking lot and the fire. Everything else was painted on the glass to create a mat and then dropped right into place. Finally, we incorporate the footage of those famous birds to complete the effect.
All very cool stuff. So we've shown you two examples of practical effects, models, and the glass mat.
But we have another type of effect that doesn't just involve props, but people. Practical stunts!
Somebody say stunts?
Ladies and gentlemen, our special effects show, Stunt!
Yeah! I like that, Laura. Chris came flying in over there. Brian was zipping in over there. How come you and I didn't get a fancy entrance like that?
Oh, Eric, it's because we're wearing really nice clothes. Now, you might recognize our faces because you've seen them in countless television shows and movies, sometimes doubling for your favorite celebrities. So, let's meet them now. Over here, we have Chris Giacomazzi. This is Cayman Casey, and our stunt coordinator, Brian Pern. Welcome, fellas. Now, it true that stunt performers will almost always double for actors if ever there is a fight sequence involved?
Yeah, most actors don't like getting kicked in the face.
Nah, kicked in the face.
Yeah, like this.
Oh, is he okay? Oh, he's okay. Yeah, go ahead and get set up. You see, folks, when staging a fight, the art of illusion is very important. The moves need to look realistic to fool the camera, but without anyone getting hurt, and that is the performer's job to make it look believable. I'm gonna set the scene. Exterior, dark alley, dead of night. A couple of nefarious characters are just lurking about. Ready, and action!
Buddy, where you going? Hey, I'm talking to you. Come here!
Eric, what do we call that?
Foley! You've probably heard the term Foley before. It's the process of adding sounds to films after they've been shot. But how familiar are you with its origins? Jack Foley, he wore many hats. He was a writer, he was a director, he was even a stunt double. But it's when he began producing sound effects for Universal Studios in the early 1920s that he truly began to make a name for himself. For over 30 years, he worked here on the lot at Soundstage 10. If he couldn't recreate a sound on stage, then he would go out and get it live. In fact, he invented a technique called direct picture, in which he would add sound effects to finished films all in one take. And he had to be completely in sync with the action on the screen, because even one mistake meant he had to start all over again. And to help us imagine what that must have been like, please welcome our first volunteers!
I'd like to meet the Foley family from Australia!
Oh yeah! Thanks so much for helping us out, guys. They are going to demonstrate how these ordinary items can be repurposed to sound like something completely different than what you guys might think. For example, this water bottle could be used to articulate the sound of bones breaking. Check it out. Pretty cool, right? And you kids can try that at home, because parents love it when children pretend to break their bones. Take a look at your side screens. We're going to show you a split screen. On one side, you're going to see the hit comedy Identity Thief with Jason Bateman and Melissa McCarthy. On the other side, you're going to see Universal's Foley artists hard at work.
Now I have a plan.
Oh yeah, that looks easy, right? We'll find out if that's a clip that they're going to Foley. But first, let's talk about the tools that we have up here on stage. For Elizabeth, she's got a crash box. It's a wooden box that's going to make the sound of crashes. For Allie, she's got 2 sneakers. Those will sound like running. Over here, we've got 2 reams of paper and a cutting board. Those will sound like bodies are hitting the ground. For Dad, he's got 2 boxing gloves. Those will sound like the punch in the throat and slaps on the face. Then for Mom, she's got a cowbell. This will be used for the moment where the panini maker hits Melissa McCarthy in the back of the shoulder. And then this is where we get crazy. Really use your imaginations here, because these handcuffs are going to sound like handcuffs. Let me give it to you. All right, you guys ready to do this? You'll be watching that big old monitor right down there. All right? If you guys are ready up in the booth, let's roll sound, speed, and action. And I love Dad on the boxing gloves. It looked like he was dancing at a wedding. Stand right here, guys. Now you probably noticed that the clip seemed kind of empty. Well, now we're going to put in their sound effects and we're going to hear how they did. Take a look and listen.
Get over here and give me a wrist. Okay? Now I have a plan.
Perfect.
You like that? Sandy,
Good! Now for the big finish! Nailed it! Give her a round of applause! Take him out, guys. Take him out.
That was a fun comedy, and Universal has produced great films in every genre. However, the studio really made its mark with some of the industry's most memorable thriller and horror films. Let's take a peek. We have maquettes of Dracula, there's Chucky and his bride, Michael Myers, Imhotep, or the Mummy, Phantom of the Opera, and Mother Bates from Psycho. It is the perfect setting for a horror demonstration starring our next volunteer.
That's right, joining us all the way from Orange County. Everyone say hi, Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer.
Now, Jennifer here was selected for her very distinct scream. So imagine, if you will, you've checked into the Bates Motel and you just want to take a shower, but it's interrupted by Norman Bates himself. How do you scream?
Oh, happiest death ever.
Now, Jennifer, as you saw earlier, our stunt performers have a very high threshold for pain. My question is, do you?
Well, do you?
Because this next sequence involves movie blood. Does anyone out there know what Alfred Hitchcock used for movie blood in his classic film Psycho?
Shut up!
What do you think? Not
Oh,
yet,
who said
just-
chocolate? Someone said chocolate. That was you. That's right. It was chocolate syrup. You win. Knowledge. That's right. Chocolate syrup. The Psycho was a black and white film, so it didn't matter what color the blood was back then. But nowadays, movie blood has to be much more realistic.
Thank you for lending us a hand.
Literally! Now, it's at this point in the show where I need to remind the kids, please, do not try this at home.
Try it at a friend's house. Okay, put that arm right there. Yeah.
Right there, that's
Here
good.
we go.
Oh, what are you doing? You're not really going to use a machete on Jennifer. Come on, we're having fun.
Machete. No, that's crazy.
All right.
I'm not crazy. I'm going to use this knife. It is so much sharper. Okay, take a look at the side screens, and don't worry, I'm not going to feel a thing. On the count of 3, just scream. 1, 2, 3, scream! She's okay! Next, she's even giggling. This is a classic cinematic horror technique. It is a Hollywood blood knife. Show you how it works. We've got a fake blade here. That cutout fits right over her arm, and then the handle here has a bulb on the back filled with movie blood. I scream, you scream, Jennifer's temporarily traumatized, but you know what? It is in the name of fun. How about a hand for Jennifer?
Jennifer was amazing. I wish I could stay right. Get some of my hands here, Laura. Why don't I give you her phone? I'll be right back, all right?
Yes, because we did talk about a photo opportunity, right? For being such a good sport. Why don't you come over here with me? You want to set that on camera? I will snap your picture. So perfect, right there. With some of our classic Universal monsters. I'll be standing that little red mark right there so I can see your face in the light. Excellent. On the count of 3, let's hear that adorable scream again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. we all can. Look at that! Pure terror caught on film. How about a hand for Jennifer? Now we've talked a lot about practical effects, so let's switch gears to visual effects. These are things done inside of a computer. Here to demonstrate mocap or motion capture, welcome back my co-host, Eric!
I look like Lady Gaga.
You ready to do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Can we bring up the perimeter sensors, please? Now these markers reflect light back to sensors and then into a computer that will capture their movement. Can we see that capture up on the side screens? Now each marker appears here as a dot. All right, Eric, let's start with a T-pose. You're just gonna extend your arms out to the side. Yep, we always start with a T-pose to indicate the beginning of a take. That way we're editing for continuity purpose. What are you doing?
Saw that?
Yes.
Ah, gross.
Why don't you touch your nose with your left hand, then your right. Let's just go back and forth doing a series of basic movements, just trying to calibrate the system. You go back to neutral, put your arms to the side. We'll do some jumping jacks and then running in place.
Okay.
It might not look like much now, but using these movements, animators can change the aspect ratio, then build digital skeletons, add wire framing, and finally, skins. This way, we can take Eric's movements and turn him into anything. As you can see here, he is a cuddly, friendly teddy bear.
A teddy bear?
Yeah.
That's adorable. Check it out. Ready and hello.
You're not just any teddy bear. You happen to be the star of Universal's Ted.
Awesome.
Yeah, and you know what? He was a dancer. Get us some dance music!
Yeah. Oh, Laura, this part where that came from. Ready? Check this out. How about a little bit of that? How about a little something for the ladies? Wahoo! Yeah.
Check with you. It's almost like he's here with us now. In fact, Ted, what do you think about the show so far, huh?
That's why I watch these things. It's like a cool behind the scenes thing that you wouldn't know.
Thunder Buddies, Ted.
Thunder Buddies for life.
How about a hand for Eric and Ted? Fun fact that Prom actually wore a modified mocap suit by Built It at Studios so he could act and direct at the same time. Let's take a look at the genius behind Ted.
We were able to do Ted in a completely lifelike way and to use technology in a way that it really hasn't been used to date. What that technology does so well is it takes fantastical characters and makes them as realistic in movement as possible.
Some pretty cool stuff. Now, as far as technology has come with visual effects and CGI, some things just look better when they're real, like fire. Let's take a look at some fire stunts done on film. One of the most exciting, most dangerous aspects of filmmaking is undoubtedly a fire stunt. We're going to bring back our top-notch stunt department to show us how they execute a live fire burn. There in the middle is the man of the hour who will be set on fire. That's Chris. He's being assisted by our safeties, Cayman and Brian. Now, looking at Chris's face, you might think, oh, is he nervous? He's sweating rather profusely. This is not the case. It is a protective fire gel that he has applied to all of his exposed areas. You might know from experience how unpleasant it can feel to miss a spot while wearing sunscreen. Now just imagine what it would feel like to miss a spot while on fire. Yeah, he's staying in a prep blanket. This is where the fuel will be applied. We have our safety standing by in case of premature ignition.
Excuse me. We're ready to fuel.
Copy that.
Cameron, are you ready? Chris, are you ready? Fueling.
Now, upon completion of the shot, he'll move over to the fire blanket to be extinguished. At this point, we'll be looking at him for a thumbs up. If we see a thumbs down, this is a sign that we need to alert the medical team. Now, as they continue the fueling process, I do want to take this time to remind you. Now, these are trained professionals. They are using highly special equipment, wardrobes, fuels, and gels. This is not something that anyone out there should ever attempt to recreate on their own. He's going to be going for a time today of around 8 to 10 seconds. Also remind everyone, please remain seated for the entire duration of this stunt. It's like we're close. Let's go ahead and set our lights and our timer to 0. And when whenever you gentlemen are ready.
Cameron, are you ready? Ready. Chris, are you ready to burn? Ready.
Ready and action!
Lighting! You're lit! You're up!
He's You boys play nice. Well, it's hard to top that, but for our final demonstration, we are going to create a scene that is truly out of this world. With the help of our final two volunteers, Paul and Catherine, give them applause as they make their way up here. Come join me. I'll have Paul here, Catherine here. If you haven't figured out by now, you are playing the part of an astronaut. Have you ever dreamed of being an astronaut? Well, you're gonna be an astronaut, okay? Come on over here with Brian, we're gonna get you your helmet. And Catherine, come follow me. Why don't you stand on that little green mark, because do I have a surprise for you. Coming in here is our Fisher flying rig. This is a computer-controlled cable system that we use to simulate flight, and you will be controlling it. Sounds complicated, but don't worry. There's an app for that. Oh, I'll give you a tutorial. They can see it on the screen up there. So have it disabled now. This green lever is going to take him up and down, and this purple grid will control his movement. So you can go nice and slow, or depending on the nature of your relationship, go to town. Speaking of which, are you dating, married? It's complicated. It's complicated, okay? You don't get that response a lot. I'm interested to see how this goes. Do you know if he has any fear of heights? He does! How fun for everyone but him. Okay, so slide your hand back through there. I'll be here to help guide you along, so stay right there. Hi, so Paul, do you have any final words for your beautiful person, Catherine? You know what? He said, I love you. Wow. What's that? Ah! He says after this, you get to go shoe shopping in Beverly Hills. Yeah. He says money is no object. Yeah. We finished a composite scene. Let's use rear projection to get our backplate image. Perfect. You are in space now. Okay, so Catherine, put your finger on that green lever. And then take it right on up, nice and easy, just like that. Perfect. Oh, that's okay. So yeah, pull your finger off there. That's okay. So Paul, just try not to touch the cables, but put your shoulders back and your chin up. So your shoulders back and your chin up. Just kind of hoist yourself on up. It's very natural. Okay, so put your finger on that purple grid. And then slide it across just like that. Perfect. Oh, she's ready to have some fun. So stop right about there. Okay. And then, too much fun. We're gonna take it back down. So we're gonna reset it back to 0. I'm just gonna pull that down. Well done. Stay right there. Don't touch anything. Okay. So, Paul, shoulders back, chin up. Yeah. Still very natural. So why don't you put your finger on the purple grid? You say he's afraid of heights. Let's keep him kind of low, just in case. Yeah, just right there. And then, what did you press anything else? No. Oh. You're having too much fun with him already. Oh, there he goes. Okay. That's okay. You know what, Paul? Just try not to look down. Okay. Can you pull that purple grid down? Can we bring him on in for a landing? Pull that grid. There he comes. Okay. Here we go. Don't touch the cables though. Here we go. Okay. You're safe. Have a hand for Paul, our astronaut. Okay. You were right. We're gonna throw control up to the booth. They got it up there. Okay, we're gonna bring him in. He's okay. Bring him in. Oh, here he comes in for a landing. Okay, Paul, he's down. Now don't touch the cables, but your shoulders back, remember? And you come on over here. Stand right here for me. Okay, we'll get you reunited. Well, Paul, the good news is you're down on the ground safely. And the bad news is, the captor tried to murder you. Come on, give her a hug. Like we said before, the idea of special effects is to make the audience believe what they see is real.
Oh, hi everybody!